Alabama's playing Texas in Austin. We're doing the show from the Flora-Bama. We got the Yinglings cold, and we're ready to talk to you guys right here on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show now.
The Bama Football Tailgate Show, brought to you by Bama Insider and On3 Sports Network, is on the air. The Crimson Tide are rolling, and we got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of a game day on the quad. Broadcasting each home game from the Strip in Tuscaloosa. With Bama Insider and On3 Sports Network experts weekly like Kyle Henderson, Andrew Bone, and Clint Lamb, and more. National championship quarterback Jay Barker, and hosted by former Crimson Tide Sports Network's broadcaster and SEC Network award-winning voice Mick Gillispie. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, the best way to host a Bama tailgate party. Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play. Now featuring the sports book at the Timeout Lounge. Also brought to you by the Flora-Bama world-famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Genesis of Tuscaloosa, luxury with a national championship service department. Visit Sevierville.com. Your Smokies start here. Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Innisfree, an Alabama Irish pub tradition. Visit Tuscaloosa. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Owa Theme Park and Resort in Foley, Alabama. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. R&R Cigar, home of the Victory Cigar, with 2 locations in Tuscaloosa and Northport. Unique on the Strip. Cathead Distillery, proudly distilling award-winning spirits since 2010.
Welcome to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. The show is presented by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And for the next 2 hours, we're going to preview number 1 Alabama and Texas. They're at Texas, 11 a.m., Texas Memorial Stadium. On the show today, we got Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We got Andrew Bone from Bama Insider to update us on recruiting. Clint Lamb will be on the show today. And we got a lot to talk about. I want to remind you guys that our show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling and the ownership, a 6th-generation company, and Cheryl Yuengling, who's part of the company's ownership, a proud Alabama grad. There's a little bit of crimson love in every one of those green bottles. With Jay Barker, I'm Mick Gillispie. Jay, you see my friend T's over here from Cathead Distilling. We're at the Flora-Bama. What is up, brother?
Man, I wish I was with you all. Goodness gracious. It looks like a good setting. Got a lot of people already coming in for the show and for the night, so getting ready for a big matchup against Texas tomorrow.
Yeah, look, you're doing your thing. We want you to come down here and hang out with us, man. I mean, like, you need to come down here and do the show on the line.
I'd love it. It'd be awesome. Haven't been a Flora-Bama in forever, so I know it's probably changed a little bit, but not too much. But got a lot of great memories there, and some I want to forget.
So we're gonna try. Yeah, right. Me too. We've already talked about this. T, welcome to the show from Cathead Distilling, one of our great new partners. Your thoughts so far? What do you think of Flora-Bama?
I love the Flora-Bama.
Let me turn you up here. How about that?
There we go.
There you go.
Man, I love the Flora-Bama. The last time I was here, it was pretty blurry.
Yeah, I think that's all of us, right? We've had that moment. But look, we've got a great matchup to preview today. Bulls on the beach behind us, big girls playing, and on the big main stage. So it's a lot of fun to be here, guys. If you're hanging out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. That's a way of saying Roll Tide. And don't forget to hit the bell so you know when we're live. And if you want to be part of Bama Insider, now that we're with On3, $1 subscription, BamaInsider.com. If you're listening on radio, Roll Tide, Alabama. Great to be here today as we talk about this game that's going to kick off high noon Eastern time, 11 o'clock Central, and a game for Alabama. But welcome back to the Flora-Bama. I'm going to have John McInnes, who's one of the owners of the Flora-Bama, swing by in the second hour. and we're going to relive some of my ups and downs here, T. So you guys have had some ups and downs. I've had some ups and downs too. And,
lots of downs.
Some downs. Yeah. There's an LSU fan here. This is what the Flora-Bama is, right? You know, loud people having a good time, you know. All right, Jay, let's get into this matchup. T, you're involved in this as well. Alabama taking on the Texas Longhorns. They absolutely dismantled Utah State. Anderson was amazing. Will Anderson. Is Alabama one of the best teams in the country? Blake Anderson, who is the head coach of Utah State, said that he felt like Alabama might be the best team he's seen in 30 years.
Yeah, it was a great compliment that he gave him, and after the game, and I think for them, we talked a little bit about it on a Monday on our show, saying that it looked like they came out through that first 30-yarder, and then after that, they were kind of like, okay, wait, this is going to get tough. They tried to save their quarterbacks for the season, and maybe didn't quite play, realize or play to knowing that they were going to probably lose the game. I guess it seemed that way as the game went on. But for Blake Anderson to say that, he's been around football for a long time, for him to make that kind of compliment to the Crimson Tide, I think meant a lot to the players, to the coaches, and just a lot of respect for them coming into Tuscaloosa. They got the paycheck, but they also got the pounding. So hopefully that'll be the case for this Texas game coming up tomorrow. You look at that matchup, and you don't get a lot out of it, but you still get a lot of reps. You get guys playing time, kind of get a chance to see some things. Alabama was very vanilla. So was Texas. Texas didn't show much in their first game. I think they played a lot of cover 4, a little bit of cover 3, cover 1 a little bit. But I really think, I said it today, I think they're going to throw the kitchen sink at Bryce. I think they're going to come after him. I think, you look at Florida, you look at Texas A&M, they did it very well. You look also at Auburn, how they were able to play defense against the Crimson Tide. So the great thing about it, though, is that there's so much better leadership on this team this year. And so I think with Will Anderson, Bryce Young, Jordan Battle, Henry To'oTo'o, even with Jermaine Burton, who's been in championship games like this and been on the road and played in tough games on offense, and all the guys up front have had experience with Bryce, I think they bring in a different viewpoint and a different way of thinking coming into this road game this year than what they did last year in 2021.
With Jay Barker and our friend T from Cathead Distilling, we're hanging out here at the Flora-Bama talking about Alabama and Texas. Jay, how does Alabama handle the rat poison? Like, they're a 20-plus point favorite. I've seen it 20.5, 21 points. The spread is just shot straight up. Alabama didn't destroy really anybody on the road last year. They won the games. They actually lost to Texas A&M, but they won the games, but they weren't blowouts. How do they handle the rat poison? How do they handle all this positivity that they're getting from the media?
Yeah, I think the team has had a lot. I think last year, though, because of their having to kind of go through the learning experience. I mean, Bryce, really the first time he had started on the road in the SEC and understanding what that's like. So I think drawing from that experience, going through it together, as I mentioned earlier, the leadership they got on that team. And I think, too, the biggest thing is just you can't read whether it's good or bad. Both of us rat poison, because you're either going to think too good of yourself or too bad, form your own opinion, be great leaders in the huddle, be great leaders in the locker room. Coach Saban's not going to allow it to happen. He'll call the media out every time there's some kind of rat poison put out there. Ryan Leaf, today or yesterday, said that Alabama is going to win by 60. He said, change the channel. He said, don't even watch the game. It's going to be a blowout. So those guys aren't going to listen to that. They want to go out there and prove something. They're on a kind of a revenge tour this year from what happened at the end last year and how they got beat at Texas A&M. They've shored things up. Last year, a lot of our protection, almost all of it slid to the back, and most teams picked that up. Texas A&M definitely did, began to blitz on that weak side. This year, they've got a lot of answers for that, and a lot of that comes from the maturity of Bryce and also the guys up front. So hopefully we'll get a good push in the run game, make it a little bit easier when you got a run game and a great tight end. Latu's coming back, so that's a huge get for Alabama on the offensive side of the ball. And then I think this defense can be one of the best that we've seen so far.
T, what do you think? Like, when you're being praised like that, how do you overcome?
Well, unfortunately, I've never been praised like that, so it's just always the underdog mentality for me. But I do.
Man, you're the best. You are the best. Everything you do. Now deal with it.
Damn it! Now I don't know what to do. No, I think Nick Saban does a great job of being able to keep people in that middle. You said it really well, Jay. Like, not too low, not too high. If there's too much praise coming in, he has a nice snapback that comes in. What was his quote today? Last time they went to Texas, they got beat by 20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the way that he's able to turn things around to change the mindset of his team, I'm really looking forward to seeing the game tomorrow. I just really enjoy watching Will Anderson play. that guy's amazing.
Yeah, look, he's a beast. But let me talk about Bryce Young as you guys hang out with us on the Bama Insider Tailgate show, getting you ready for Alabama and Texas at 11 o'clock. Bryce Young was the Heisman Trophy winner last year, but, Jay, did he put everyone on notice that he's trying for the Heisman again this year? What a game he had last week. Running, throwing, he just looked better. I don't know how he did it, but he looked better than he did last year, and he won the Heisman.
Yeah, amazing. You look at the 100 yards, more yards he had in that one game he had all last year. So I think that's a real positive for him, Mick. And I think, for him moving in the pocket, he's got such a calm demeanor about him. And the way that he's able to see the field, he keeps his eyes down the field. We talked a lot about that with Jalen Hurts, that he really needed to work on that all throughout his career, really got better at that at Oklahoma. But that was the thing, they worked with him since day one. And Bryce never had that. Bryce has always kept his eyes down the field. He's got great peripheral vision. He sees the field, and he's got great rhythm with his receivers. That was my biggest thing, is how can he play with the guys that he hadn't really had a lot of playing time with? I mean, you look at as far as Kobe Prentice, a freshman from Calera. I mean, what a game he had. Great chemistry between those two guys. Jermaine Burton, getting chemistry from a guy that came from Georgia, played against the national championship, and then Trayshawn Holden. And then there's really 6 or 7 deep at that wide receiver position that can make a real impact for Alabama this year. So I'm excited about seeing what they do. I want to see them in a hostile environment like this. I think it's a great early test for Alabama, and I think it's going to show us a lot about this team, their character, the leadership that they have is so different than it was last year. I've heard a lot of comments from coaches, and I know one of them that's on the staff with Coach Saban, very close to. I had dinner with him last night, and just talking about the preparation and talking about all the things that they've done this year that's so different, and not having all those players that are there kind of being the naysayers or worried about playing time and all that type of stuff. So it's a different attitude, a different team this year in 2022.
The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw. Now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sportsbook. Nick Saban lost to 2 former assistants last year. How will he stack up against Steve Sarkisian? We're going to talk about that when we come back. Jarvis, thanks for the super chat. Roll Tide, my friend. We'll be right back. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Celebrate the Tide's legacy of championships with Daniel A. Moore's latest creation, The Legacy Begins. A tribute to the 1926 Rose Bowl victory over Washington, putting Southern football on the map and establishing the unmatched legacy of Alabama's national titles. New Life Art is offering The Legacy Begins in a variety of formats that will fit any budget. Remember the Rose Bowl with these and other fine art gift items available now at danielmooreart.com or by calling 1-800-735-2787.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
There's a new place where thrill meets chill, where the fun is always tropical cool, inside and out. The park at OWA is now Tropic Falls Theme Park, joined by the all-new indoor water park now open. Come to OWA and experience Tropic Falls. It's like nothing you've ever seen, with 23 theme park rides and 11 new indoor water park slides, complete with lazy river and arcade. All at Tropic Falls, only at OWA Parks and Resort. Buy your tickets online and save at visitowa.com.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets, and finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate. CatheadDistillery.com.
It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Every September, the Flora-Bama welcomes professional bull riders from across the country with one goal in mind: staying on the back of a 2,000-pound bull for 8 seconds.
We've got a qualified bull.
It's 3 big nights of adrenaline-filled excitement, September 8th through the 10th. Single-night tickets are available now, but hurry, this event sells out every year. It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Get your Bulls on the Beach tickets now at Flora-Bama.com.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi, was founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Roll Tide Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South in every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands today, including Bristow Gin, Hoodoo Chicory Liquor, Old Soul Bourbon Whiskey, and Cathead Sparkling Canned Cocktails. By the way, we got some in my car, Chris, just FYI. Find out for yourself, though, for your next tailgate party at CatheadDistillery.com. Nick Saban versus former assistants, once undefeated, twice beaten last year, Alabama's coach, as he lost the national championship game to Kirby Smart. He lost to Texas A&M. This is the BamaInsider Tailgate Show, and we're hanging out with you at Flora-Bama here on the line, getting you ready for Alabama and Texas, 11 o'clock with T from Cathead. And Jay Barker, I'm Mick Gillispie. Sark said the game plan was laid out over the summer, Jay. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, it just means they've been working on Alabama since day one, since the beginning, probably the spring practice, getting ready for this matchup, knowing how important it was going to be for the program. And even though as much as he downplayed it over the summer and even through fall camp, saying, look, this is not going to make us or break us, it's not going to define us as a program, it really can. I mean, if they play Alabama close, or even if they're able to pull off the upset, but even if they play Alabama close, that's going to mean a lot for him in recruiting, that he's got things headed in the right direction, especially if Alabama was to go on and win a national championship. So for them, it's just about behind the scenes. They got analysts, they got assistant coaches, they've got people they're talking to. They're talking to Kirby Smart. They're talking to Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher and their coaching staff. They're talking to Florida, trying to figure out, what those guys did in order to slow Alabama's offense down. So that's the kind of intel they're looking for. Then they go back and break down all the films, go back and look at other things, maybe some new coaches that are there, like the offensive line coach. How did he coach? What were some of the schemes, the protections he used at other places? They're just trying to get as much intel as possible to get them prepared for this matchup against the Crimson Tide. But it means a lot to them.
My question for you next, Jay and T, I'll get your opinion on this as well, but, Alabama taking on Texas. How can Texas attack Alabama? I guess, T, you start. How can Texas attack Alabama? Then, Jay, you jump in there.
To be honest with you, I'm not sure how Texas attacks Alabama. They're probably going to try to run the ball on them, but I don't know if Alabama's going to give up much on the ground. I think Sark's going to have to do some intermediate passing and try to break one long, but I hate to sound like a homer here, but I don't think Sark has the personnel at this moment right now.
Yeah,
Love
Jay,
all the ladies behind y'all. Y'all got all the ladies sitting around y'all, man.
We do.
Y'all just got them all. They're all loud and having fun. Wish I was
This
there.
is the life we live, Jay. This is the life. There's been a lot of that here at the Flora-Bama, but
right.
When you bring this show on the road and you got tea with you, it's like
you never know.
It's hanging out with a big time celebrity. All right, tell me how Texas can attack Alabama, Jay.
I think he's right on the head with it. I mean, you got to be able to run the football. If you can't run the football against this defense, it's going to be tough to do anything with Quinn Ewers. I mean, I think that Sark wants to establish that early on. The best thing for a young quarterback is to have a great running game, again, to have a tight end that can catch and also block, but also to, have a great offensive line. But the key is to be able to get a push, to get it to where it's manageable. And they did a really good job this past game actually throwing the football on first down. They were, I think, 9 of 11 and ended up getting in front of the change and got on schedule the way that they needed to for a young quarterback. He started out really bad. He was 0 for 2 with an interception, trying to force it into the tight end. They went to the sideline. You can see Sark talking to him, say, hey, man, just check down. Just take what they give you. So he's got to be disciplined there. So if they can run the ball, yours stays disciplined in his thinking and not turn the ball over, not get penalties, not hurt themselves. They got the home crowd, so they should have no issues with offside penalties, communicating very well at the line of scrimmage as a quarterback or offensive line. If they can do all that, then they at least got a shot. They at least got a chance.
He's Jay Barker. I'm Mick Gillispie, hanging out with T from Cathead Distillery and doing it here on the line at the Flora-Bama, previewing Alabama and Texas 11 a.m. kickoff from Austin at Texas Memorial Stadium. All right, it's an 11 a.m. kickoff. Jay, I know your opinion. You hold it because I'm going to let you go second. T, What do you think about an 11 a.m. kickoff? Is that going to affect Alabama at all?
I mean, I think Alabama over the last 8, 9, 10 years has been really accustomed to playing those 7 o'clock kickoffs. They're really used to it. I think it could jam them up a little bit. I mean, I think the first quarter is going to be the part that's going to be the rusty, the poured out. I really think that they're really used to. Personally, I think Auburn and San Jose State should be playing at 11 a.m. and Alabama should be playing at 6.
All right, Jay, your opinion. Is it going to affect Alabama? Why or why not?
I love the early games. I love being able to get there and get it done and, get up. You didn't have a lot of meetings. There wasn't coaches coming to you trying to figure out, okay, what else can we do? How can we continue to work on certain things? Just really, at that point in time as a player, you're like, look, the hay's in the barn. I mean, unless they've got some intel that they got the night before from somebody that said, hey, that we saw this in practice or we saw some of the verbiage or certain things like that you may go over. But just get up, go play, and then get back and have a chance to enjoy a long night. I mean, you're going to they get back around 6:15, I think it is, on Saturday night, according to their itinerary, if everything works out the way it should. So that'll be a great night off for them, some rest up as well, more rest than they normally get from a away game at a nighttime slot. But it is going to be tough. I mean, it's different getting up that early. They're used to practicing in the afternoon, used to playing at night or afternoon. So to play a little bit earlier, it's just whoever goes out and executes, and just don't let it get to your mind. Just go play the game, and I think they got enough leadership to get that done.
With Jay Barker and our friend T from Cathead Distillery, I'm Mick Gillispie on the BamaInsider Tailgate Show. Like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and hit the bell. That's a way of saying roll tide as we hang out with you on a crazy Saturday, getting you ready for Alabama and Texas kicking off at 11 o'clock. And if you listen,
it's gonna be worse for the fans.
Hey, look, we don't need the band at the stadium. We got them right here, Big Earl and and the Sexual Biscuits, Jay. All right, Jay.
Is that their name for real?
It is. It is.
Oh wow! Yeah.
All right. What are you expecting today? Last question for you on the show. What are you expecting today in this game?
Today or tomorrow? Today. I'm
today.
Sorry. Today. Today is, I think for Alabama, number one, come out, play clean. Again, penalties and just mental mistakes is what hurts you, right? I mean, that's the things that you can control. Don't let the crowd noise get to you. They do a lot of signals. They do the hand clap for the snaps. You have to worry about that. I think for them too is, I think you're going to see some difference in signals. I think they realize Sark probably knows a lot of the signals that they've used in the past. They're going to change some of those things up, maybe even try to do something to get them kind of thinking one way and then going to another. So, and the biggest thing is just execute. Coach Saban said at the beginning of the week, said, look, I know a lot about him. He knows a lot about me. Now it's about which players go out and execute at the highest level. Look, they've got talent on that side of the ball, but they don't have nearly the talent or depth Alabama's got, I don't think. And I think Alabama should come away with a big win. I think they should win by a big number. They should cover that spread of 20 points. I don't know if it's gone up or not, but, I think this could be a big win for Alabama, a step towards another national championship.
Jay, next time you better come down here and hang out with us in person, man. Roll Tide, thanks for doing this.
Now,
and
again,
we'll do it again
is that sexual chocolate?
No, it's not. Randy Watson. No, that's Big Earl in there. Hey, Jay, let me tell you this, though. You get 20% off all of your Alabama Texas products at newlifeart.com right now. You've been painted by Daniel Moore. The last time the Crimson Tide played Texas, it was in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, 2009 National Championship game. Here's to another Longhorn beatdown. No code needed. Just go to newlifeart.com. You have until 9/11/22, and you get all those Alabama, Texas things, the mugs, the prints, all that stuff, 20% off. Yeah, it's not Randy Watson, right? Randy Watson, sexual chocolate. No, this is
And I also want people to make sure that they know that painting was a painting of me in a football uniform. I wasn't laid out on a couch.
Yeah,
while
right.
He was painting me.
It's still a great one. I love that one.
It is, Jay, yeah. We're working on the other.
Let's go. Hey, roll tide, my friend.
Roll tide. Y'all be good.
All right, that's Jay
Thanks,
Barker.
man.
And this is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. When we come back, we're going to preview Texas with Tommy Yark. So don't go anywhere. We're coming right back after this.
Summer is almost over. Time to go to Pond Royale. All lawn and gardening inventory must go. Mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Deals on everything. Many items at cost and tax. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's at Pond Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. Get here before the best items are gone.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate, CatheadDistillery.com.
It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Every September, the Flora-Bama welcomes professional bull riders from across the country with one goal in mind: staying on the back of a 2,000-pound bull for 8 seconds.
We've got to qualify for a ride.
It's 3 big nights of adrenaline-filled excitement, September 8th through the 10th. Single-night tickets are available now, but hurry, this event sells out every year. It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Get your Bulls on the Beach tickets now at florabama.com.
Summer is almost over. Time to go to Pond Royale. All lawn and gardening inventory must go. Mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Deals on everything. Many items at cost and tax. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's at Pond Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. Get here before the best items are gone.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, or the newest location in Northport in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Now 2 awesome locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. R&R Cigar is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar in Yingling for $10 when you tell them Mick sent you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets, and finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Hi, Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show as we get you ready for Alabama and Texas. That is a high noon Eastern time kickoff, 11 o'clock for us in the Central Time Zone. As we preview Alabama, always here on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you know anytime we're live. If you're watching, then you know about us. If you're listening on the radio across the state of Alabama, it's really easy to join us. And right now that we're part of the On3 network, $1 gets you an entire year of Bama Insider coverage. That's recruiting. That's all the inside nuggets on the team. Check it out, BamaInsider.com. But thanks to all of you for hanging out with us here as we talk Alabama. This segment is brought to you by Sevierville. Visit Sevierville.com. Sevierville has 4 different self-guided fall tours along the back roads and highlight all the historical points of interest and beautiful fall views. You can find out more information, including maps and videos. You can make your plans at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
All right, here we go with a breakdown of the Texas Longhorns, covering them for On3 Texas. As you hang out with us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, brought to you by Yuengling Lager, is Tommy Yarish. How's it going, man? We're going from Sevierville, Tennessee, down here in beautiful Orange Beach, from the Flora-Bama all the way to Austin to hang out with you as we preview this football game. What's going on, man?
Yeah, 3 really good spots to be at. I'm doing good, and I'm doing even better hearing now that you guys are presented by Yuengling. My dad is a huge Yuengling fan, man. We just got him in Texas, and I think he bought like 8 cases when those first came out at HEB. So he's gonna. If you're watching, Dad, this show's for you.
Yeah, and I'm going to report that to Pat Bakunis. He's the guy that opened up Texas for Yuengling, one a longtime friend. So that's pretty cool to hear. And I'll have to send you guys some swag. What size does he wear?
XL.
XL. We're going to hook your dad up, Mr. Yarish. Well, let's talk about this. He'll love it. Yeah, I got him. Look at they got the Yuengling neons, everything going on. Look, let's talk some football right now. Alabama and Texas. First time that these two teams have played in Austin since 1922, 100 years ago. Texas has been building a lot of momentum in recruiting. First off, though, what's the state of the program right now under Steve Sarkisian?
Yeah, well, last year under Sarkisian, obviously not the start that he wanted, going 5-7, but it's still a lot of newness around this program, and you see that all over the place, but especially on the offensive side of the ball. The freshman quarterback Quinn Ewers just got his first collegiate start after transferring in from Ohio State against ULM, and then there's 2 freshmen on the offensive line, and Kelvin Banks and Cole Hudson. Both of them had great games last week, but obviously, heading into this week with arguably, if not the best pass rush in America right now. That's a big jump going from the Warhawks out in Louisiana Monroe to Will Anderson and Dallas Turner. So not the jump that you want to make for your freshmen, but as I was touching on, just very new all across the board. A lot of new faces, some new coaches, and Brandon Marion and Tashard Choice as well. And then defensively, there's some transfers in there as well. Ryan Watts, the corner from Ohio State, played really well last week. Diamante Tucker-Dorsey from James Madison getting some snaps as well. And then Jaron Thompson moving in, starting at safety. He was on the team last year, but he's starting now. And so, yeah, just a lot of newness and trying to build upon what they could from last season.
Bijan Robinson, obviously the featured player on offense. Quinn Ewers, obviously the quarterback, but he hasn't had a lot of college experience. But Robinson's really good. Alabama's a 20.5, 21-point favorite right now, and it just seems like that line just keeps getting higher and higher. What does Texas have to do to be able to stay in this ball game and maybe surprise this Alabama monster?
Well, they're going to have to play absolutely perfect, first of all, just because Alabama is so good, and they're a bunch of levels higher than Texas is when it comes to talent right now. But the equalizer to all that can be Bijan Robinson. In my opinion, the best running back in the country, without a question. He just does it all. He does everything that you ask for. He's great in the run game and then in the passing game as well. We saw last week Quinn Ewers, when there was just nothing there, his reads weren't open, he would dump it off to Bijan in the flat and just let him work, and that's exactly what he did. But if Texas wants to put up a fight in this game, Quinn Ewers is going to have the game of his life and just his second career start at Texas. Last week, what they couldn't really do offensively, but I know Steve Sarkisian wants to get it down, is find the deep ball. A deep safety was kind of lurking on Ewers, and I think that just kind of threw him off after the first try that they had. It was on, I think, one of the first plays trying to get Xavier Worthy deep. But if he can sort of get that out of his system and maybe find a couple of deep balls, get some big plays in there to guys like Xavier Worthy, who's a game changer as well, that would certainly have to be a factor. But I think defensively, I was talking to Ian Boyd yesterday, one of our football experts at Inside Texas, and he said the key for the Texas defense was putting smart pressure on Bryce Young, not just pressure, but smart pressure, making sure that he doesn't roll out in the pocket and have room to work with in the open field, but just kind of keep him contained, maybe rush him into some decisions, take a couple of sacks. The pass rush wasn't really there last year for Texas, and last week it looked okay. Barron Sorrell got a sack and a half. The leading sacks man for Texas last year just had 2.5, I believe. So already Barron Sorrell almost there in just one game. So the pass rush is going to have to be there, and offensively, it's just going to have to be perfect.
He's Tommy Yarish from On3 Texas, Inside Texas, giving us the scoop on the Longhorns as Alabama and Texas play at 11 o'clock. And this is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, as we do every Saturday, giving you a preview of the Crimson Tide. All right, recruiting has been really good. Look, Texas has a commitment from Arch Manning. We hear a lot about the NILs and the fact that the Texas oil money's out there. We've seen what A&M's done in recruiting. Obviously, the Longhorns now have Arch Manning to help recruit. How has that aspect of things changed since Sark got to town?
Yeah, recruiting has certainly taken off. And I think, like you mentioned, you're seeing it on the offensive side of the ball prominently just because Steve Sarkisian is such a brilliant offensive coach. And, you know, the recruiting momentum really started once Arch Manning made his decision. Once that was locked in, it was easy to tell that there was going to be a lot of offensive talent coming to Austin in this 2023 class, and you saw that when they picked up Jonte Cook from DeSoto, Jonah Wilson from Duquesne, and most recently Cedric Baxter out of Edgewater in Orlando. So the offensive side of the ball is just really impressive. And another thing that Sarkisian's emphasized that some staffs in the past at Texas haven't is flooding the offensive line with great players. And I use flood there because of the offensive coordinator, Kyle Flood. His philosophy is he likes big bodies up front. Large humans is the term that he uses. So, and they've got that in a lot of guys that you saw in this class come in, guys like Kelvin Banks and Devon Campbell, and they're doing the same thing here in this 2023 class, trying to load up on the offensive line. I'd like to see a little bit better recruiting on the defensive side of the ball, but nonetheless, there's still some guys that they have got over there. Dylan Spencer is a name that sticks out to me. Samaje Burrell, and then the 5-star safety from Louisiana, Derek Williams, I think is the cornerstone of that defensive class in 2023. So, like I mentioned, it all just ties back to Arch Manning. Once he signed that, or once he gave his commitment to Texas, it really started. I'll use avalanche for lack of a better term, but a lot of momentum going Texas's way.
Nick Saban talked about and pretty much denied. He said he hadn't talked to Texas years ago about leaving Alabama to coach the Longhorns. You know, us that have been covering Alabama for a long time remember when that was happening. Maybe he didn't talk to Texas, but it felt like maybe his agent did. Were you surprised that he kind of put a little denial on the fact that when Mac Brown was coaching, that maybe they were talking to him about coming to Texas? And it's Texas is just such a great program. Do you feel like everybody's kind of on the same page now with Sark? I mean, obviously, you know, coaching's been an issue for the Longhorns.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say no. I'm not surprised that Nick Saban stayed at Alabama. I've grown up with him in Tuscaloosa my whole life, so I think it would be just really weird to see him anywhere else. And I think, obviously, with all the national championships he's won, that he made the right decision to stick around there. But on to your second question, I think there's a lot more confidence in this coaching program under Steve Sarkisian. He's done a really good job. I think the one thing he's done best is trusting young coaches. And we saw that in Brennan Marion joining the staff as the wide receiver coach and Tashard Choice coming in with the running backs. And those are the two best skill groups, I would say, across the entire team. Xavier Worthy has blossomed in his freshman year. And coming into this year, he's got a coach that led Jordan Addison to the Blitikoff last year. So he's only going to get better from here. Wasn't too involved in that first game, but they looked for him deep a couple of times. And, if Quinn Ewers had made a little bit of a better throw, maybe Worthy could have had about 2 touchdowns. But yeah, that wide receiver core is incredible. Really was hard to get Isaiah Nayor out for the year. But when he comes back, I think Brennan Marion is going to have a field day with Nayor because he's just so athletic, such a talented, deep threat. And that's exactly what Steve Sarkisian wants. Then in the running back room, obviously Bijan Robinson was already good, and Tashard Choice is just going to make him better. And then there's a lot of other guys in that room too, like Rashawn Johnson, who's been around this program for a long time and is really good at doing his job. Keelan Robinson was great last week. He picked up a block punt for a touchdown to start the scoring off for Texas this season. And then 2 of the younger guys that I think in a couple of years you're going to be saying their name a lot, Jonathan Brooks and Jaden Blue, are 2 guys who are going to step up to this occasion once those 3 guys sort of get their way out of college and head to the league. But yeah, Jonathan Brooks and Jaden Blue, 2 names to watch out for in the future. And with Tashard Choice out there, it's really going to be a lot of fun to watch those 2 grow.
All right, last question quickly. The status of Jaleel Billingsley, the former Alabama tight end, and Agiye Hall, who is a receiver. Both of those guys transferred to Texas. Will we see any of those guys, and what's going on with both of them?
Yeah, Steve Sarkisian touched on earlier this week that Agiye Hall had done a really good job coming off his suspension. So I think we can expect to see Agiye Hall suited up. I don't know if he'll play, but I think we will see Agiye suited up. And then Jaleel Billingsley out for 6 games with some NCAA issues regarding his time at Alabama. So we won't see him until around week 7.
All right, thanks. Great work, Tommy Yarish with Texas on 3. Inside Texas and doing a great job. Let me remind you that the Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the Elantra, the Sinatra, or an SUV like the Tucson. Tailgating doesn't get any better. Next segment, we're going to talk Andrew Bone and recruiting, and we've got a lot more coming up here from the Flora-Bama. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show rolls on right after.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Every September, the Flora-Bama welcomes professional bull riders from across the country with one goal in mind: staying on the back of a 2,000-pound bull for 8 seconds.
We've got a qualified bull ride.
It's 3 big nights of adrenaline-filled excitement, September 8th through the 10th. Single-night tickets are available now, but hurry, this event sells out every year. It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Get your Bulls on the Beach tickets now at florabama.com.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Celebrate the Tide's legacy of championships with Daniel A. Moore's latest creation, The Legacy Begins. A tribute to the 1926 Rose Bowl victory over Washington, putting Southern football on the map and establishing the unmatched legacy of Alabama's national titles. New Life Art is offering The Legacy Begins in a variety of formats that will fit any budget. Remember the Rose Bowl with these and other fine art gift items available now at danielmooreart.com or by calling 1-800-735-2787.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate. CatheadDistillery.com. Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show from the Flora-Bama here in Perdido Key. Show's always brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And let me remind you that this segment is presented by Hyundai. Now this from our good friend Barry Buckner.
Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
Barry's the best in the business, fan of the show right there, Skyland and Hargrove and Tuscaloosa. Next time you're in the market for a new car, swing by and tell him you heard about him on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Give him a high five. He's our guy. Talking about our guys, let's bring him on right now from On3, from BamaInsider.com. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Say hi to Mr. Andrew Bone, our recruiting guru. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? It's exciting weekend, right?
Hey, look, this is what it's all about. Alabama and Texas kick off at 11 o'clock. We're previewing the game. And what we have come to find out is that Alabama now has become a recruiting force in Texas. And that may be why, after Alabama cleared them out a few years ago of 7 of their top prospects, that they went and hired Steve Sarkisian to be their head coach just to try to slow down the recruiting process. What do we have going on between these two schools right now, Bone?
Well, there's still some pretty tight recruiting battles between Alabama and Texas. Probably not as many as we've seen in the past, but there certainly are some. I mean, we saw where Arch Manning committed to the Longhorns earlier this year, or I guess earlier this summer. You had Hunter Osborne, in-state kid for Alabama, commit to the Crimson Tide. I thought that was a big win for Alabama. Even though he's an in-state kid, Alabama has lost some in-state kids to some out-of-state programs, including last year. Justice Finkley, a teammate of Hunter Osborne, committed to Texas over Alabama, but Alabama's certainly excited about getting Hunter Osborne officially on board last month. But this is this is going to continue to be an ongoing thing between Alabama and Texas for years to come, because anytime a new coach, some new energy comes into the state, you always worry, is there going to be some a little bit of fallback for from an Alabama recruiting perspective, because you look at Kirby Smart becoming the head coach at Georgia. It was going to be tough for Alabama to go into the state of Georgia and take top talent. Everybody said he was going to close the gates, that there was nobody that was going to get out of the state. We saw Alabama have success there over the course of the last few years. Will Anderson, Brian Branch, and into this year, getting the top two players from the state of Georgia, in Caleb Downs and Justice Haynes. And, in Louisiana, Ed Orgeron wins the national championship down at LSU. No chance any of those Louisiana kids were going to leave the state of Louisiana anymore. And, we saw what Alabama was able to do last year in the state. They continue to recruit those states well, and I certainly expect that to continue to happen in the state of Texas. Now, are they going to be able to get the top 6, 7 of the top 10 players in the state? Probably not, but they're going to still recruit the state very heavily. They're going to go after it. A lot of top guys for years to come. And, we're certainly going to see a lot of recruiting battles. One in particular recruiting battle that we're watching pretty closely for an uncommitted recruit right now is Jalen Hill, 4-star wide receiver out of Longview High School in Texas. Alabama actually saw him on Friday night. So, this is a guy who is going to be in Austin this weekend for the game. He's going to be taking his official visit with the Longhorns. Visited Alabama last weekend for his official. And, as of right now, I think Alabama's in the driver's seat for Jalen Hill. Texas was considered the early favorite. I think the momentum has shifted to Alabama after last weekend, but he's got this big visit with Texas this weekend. They're certainly hoping that they can have a great game and great performance and potentially sway him back in their favor before he makes a decision on September the 21st. Another really big prospect for Alabama who's currently committed to Texas is Malik Muhammad, 4-star defensive back out of the Dallas area. This is certainly a top kid for the Crimson Tide, has been for a very long time, but committed to the Longhorns last month. Said recently that Alabama finished as his number 2 school. Now, this is a kid that's going to still take an official visit to Alabama, likely for that Texas A&M game here in the next few weeks. So, they're still going after him, certainly hoping to flip him. Now, Alabama's flipped some Texas commitments over the course of the last couple of years. They flipped Jalen Milroe from the Longhorns. They flipped Jamarion Miller, freshman running back from Texas last year. So, it's been done before, and it's probably going to happen again. I remember a few years ago, there was no chance that Alabama was going to go into Texas and flip a top kid that was committed to Texas. I can't remember exactly what year it was, maybe 2014. And they were able to do that with A'Shawn Robinson. They went into Texas, got A'Shawn Robinson to flip on signing day. We saw A'Shawn on Thursday night starting for the Los Angeles Rams and doing well for them. But Alabama loves recruiting the state of Texas. They've done really well. They've landed some top guys through the years. Jalen Waddle, you look at Jalen Hurts, DeAndrew White, Damian Square back in that 2008 recruiting class, still playing in the NFL. I mean, there's just a lot of kids that they really, like. And I think that the biggest thing is having, assistant coaches on your staff who have connections in the state of Texas, who recruit the state well, and because I think it's an important state for Alabama, and it's always going to be. And they want to have some connections there, and I think they've got a few guys recruiting Texas right now. Holman Wiggins, who's been recruiting it for the last few years, new first-year position coach, outside linebackers coach. Coleman Hutzler is now recruiting the state. He was recruiting there before he arrived at Alabama. I certainly expect, even when those guys leave, Nick Saban is going to try to find somebody that has some roots in the state of Texas so that they can continue to recruit that state really well for years to come.
Awesome stuff. Andrew Bone, you can read his work at BamaInsider.com. You can join BamaInsider.com right now for just $1. You get an entire year for just $1 now that we're part of On3. So those that are listening on the radio, BamaInsider.com, and then join the On3 network with Bone and Joseph Hastings, who is blanketing the Lone Star State this weekend, checking out all of the big high school recruits. And of course, no one gives you coverage quite like Bone. Well, the thing about Bone is he wears many hats. And his other hat, which brings him on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, is Andrew J. Bone Realty. What do you got going on right now with Andrew J. Bone Realty?
Well, things are going good. We're staying really busy. Obviously, now that we're in the football season, people are coming down to Tuscaloosa. They get excited. They want to get a game day condo, or they want to get a place to rent for the weekend. So if you're looking for a condo, looking for a second home, or if you're just looking for a regular home, give us a call, because we're based in Tuscaloosa and in Birmingham. So we have offices, 2 locations in the state. We're staying very busy on our front. So if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, especially in Tuscaloosa, if you're looking for that game day condo, give us a call, 205-531-5577. Now, don't call and ask for recruiting content. The person who's going to answer that phone number is not going to know anything. That is our office phone number. That's not my cell phone number. So don't call. And we've had people call and ask, the person who answered the phone, hey, is Bone going to be on the recruiting show on the Bama Insider YouTube channel tonight? And that person usually says, well, I have no idea. Maybe. So don't call that number. Call that number if you're interested in real estate, if you want to buy or sell. And guess what? You can get me to show you a property and ask me any recruiting questions you want. And I'll tell you the absolute truth. So that has happened before.
Right.
I'm sure it will.
Buy a home and Bone will give you the inside tip on recruiting. Or you can go to BamaInsider.com right now, and for $1, you can get a year subscription. Awesome stuff, Bone. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
That's Andrew Bone from Andrew J. Bone Realty. Hey, guys, let me tell you about OWA. By land, thrilled to more than 20 theme park rides, from signature roller coasters to Mystic Mansion. By water, a climate-controlled tropical paradise beneath 1,800 glass panels, an indoor water park of epic proportions, the ultimate combination of thrill and chill, all behind one gate. One ticket is your passport to the tropics, Tropic Falls, from roller coaster thrills to lazy river sublime tropical chill. Visit OWA.com right there in Foley on your way to the beach. And one of our great partners for this show.
There's a new place where thrill meets chill, where the fun is always tropical cool, inside and out. The park at OWA is now Tropic Falls Theme Park, joined by the all-new indoor water park now open. Come to OWA and experience Tropic Falls. It's like nothing you've ever seen, with 23 theme park rides and 11 new indoor water park slides, complete with lazy river and arcade. All at Tropic Falls, only at OWA Parks and Resorts. Buy your tickets online and save at visitowa.com.
Right on the way to the Flora-Bama, where our show is today. Don't forget, coming up second hour of the show, we got a huge lineup for you. John McInnes joins us from the Flora-Bama. He's one of the owners here. He's going to swing by and hang out. We got Kenny White from Las Vegas, Kenny White Power Ratings, and Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone in North Alabama to help us break down the games. Clint Lamb from On3 is going to swing by and break down Alabama and Texas, and maybe one of our old-time buddies who is kind of thinking about jumping on board. So all that coming up, second hour of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show right after this.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, or the newest location in Northport in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Now 2 awesome locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. R&R Cigar is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar in Yingling for $10 when you tell them Mick sent you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
Hi, Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa. Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip.
Summer is almost over. Time to go to Plum Royale. All lawn and garden inventory must go. Mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Deals on everything. Many items at cost and tax. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's at Plum Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. Get here before the best items are gone.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Summer is almost over. Time to go to Plum Royale. All lawn and gardening inventory must go. Mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Deals on everything. Many items at cost and tax. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's at Plum Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. Get here before the best items are gone.
Second hour of the BamaInsider Tailgate Show as we're hanging out at the Flora-Bama with John McInnes, one of the owners of this great establishment. Our drive to a championship tailgate is brought to you by Genesis of Tuscaloosa, right there on the corner of Skyland and Hargrove. Barry Buckner and his staff bring you an award-winning service department, and you need to find out for yourself. Swing by there and say hi to Barry as we get you ready for Alabama and Texas at 11 o'clock. Thanks for joining our show, the BamaInsider Tailgate Show, always brought to you by Yuengling Lager. And John just handed out all of these Yuenglings right here, ice-cold Yuenglings. You can put them in your at your tailgate. And we're also presented today by Cathead Vodka. First off, it is great to see you, my brother.
It's
How
good
you
to
doing?
see you, too. You said John McInnes, owner of Flora-Bama. You didn't say buddy of Mike Gillispie, huh?
One of my best friends. Like we've been friends a long time. Let's get into the good and the bad that I've made of myself here in this establishment, because you know what? It's time to 2015. The statute of limitations on one of the worst moments of my broadcasting career have come up, but. So we can talk about it. And after I saw our buddy Lance Taylor from the next round hanging out here, I figured it was time to kind of step up and admit that I didn't know about the floaters and bushwhackers. Okay, can I just set the table? Bama's losing to
who was it?
It was Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts' freshman season, right?
Yeah.
And so we did the pregame show at Brick and Spoon with the Bloody Marys, and then we swing over here. Well, I used to do the radio postgame, which took a long time to get there, right?
Yeah.
Because you had to go through the game, and everybody was so nice to me.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of shots, and then
They were too nice
to me. And then you and I did the postgame show, and you brought trays of bushwhackers.
I don't know if it was the floaters that you say we have in our bushwhacker, or if it was the amount of bushwhackers you had.
Well,
but
I know
at some point, somebody had to step in and help you, and I finished that show.
I just remember you and I did the first segment of that postgame show, and it was great. I thought it was great, didn't you? Did you?
It was great. It was good.
Was it? Right?
I don't remember the second half.
No, I don't either. Ben George, who I invited to do the end of the show with us today, who went to college with us in Alabama, he was giving me the stink eye. That's when I knew something wasn't quite right. You told me at one point, you were like, so I know what's in those bushwhackers. You might want to slow down. But it was so hot that day. I thought it was just
after one or two, you've had the best time you're not remembering. And so, the funny, being the owner of Flora-Bama, I got a lot of bushwhacker stories, and they're all the same, right?
Who else? Just give me some other ones,
Best
please.
time I don't remember. So Kenny Chesney, one of my good friends, Kenny will tell you, and he tells the story on NSR, but he had one too many here, and it was on a show day. And he'll tell you that was one of the most spirited shows he's ever had.
I can imagine. I can imagine. They had to basically just turn me into a producer for the post-game show. Let me say this though, John, and I rebounded.
Yep.
I didn't get fired. You called me. No one divorced me. So I made it through. It wasn't one of my best moments, but I was here in 2021 for the mullet toss.
Yep.
And I was third.
You were. You did come in. You placed. So you rebounded and became a world famous athlete, huh?
That's right, man.
Now, thank you for what you guys do. This is awesome. And, as technology advances and people rely on different things like good old radio, man, this is awesome.
We have radio, and we're on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Guys, if you like John McInnes, give him a thumbs up by hitting the thumbs up. That's how you say Roll Tide to him. Like and subscribe as you hang out with us, part of the On3 Network. Well, how is it here at the Flora-Bama? You guys
Everything's
always
going
have
good,
something
man.
going on.
Yeah, we had a good year, coming out of COVID a year or two ago, which was a pain in everybody's arse.
Right.
We've had a great year. People are still enjoying life and getting out, and we've had what we'd call a normal year where everybody has too much fun and gets home safe. That's about as good as it gets down here at the beach at Flora-Bama, and we're excited. It's football season. My wife and I took our boys up on a bus the other day and went and watched that shellacking.
It's a beat now.
It was good.
I can't believe that
but
you
let
came
me
up
tell
with
you,
that
it's
one.
kind of hard when you take a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and it's a night game. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and you're winning 50-0. It's kind of hard to keep them focused. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, and then you had to wait. You couldn't leave early because you had to wait on the bus.
We stayed to the end, and it was awesome, man. We got such a good program and such a great coaching staff. We're blessed to know a lot of them, and they're good people, and they really love the players. And what Nick has done to instill morality and just, I just can't say enough good things about what Coach Saban and the coaching staff have done, not only in football with those guys, but just in their life, just setting them on the right course in life. So it's a really good program.
What do you got going on here at the Flora-Bama? You got the Flora-Bama. This place is enormous compared to what it was when you got it. I mean, you got this.
We keep adding plywood and tents. That's the secret.
Right. Every time I turn around, man.
We do. So
and boats.
Yeah. No. Well, today, right behind us, you can't see it, but we've got live bull riding in the beach parking lot. We call it Bulls on the Beach. I had to take my hat off. I don't know if it'll fit with this mic set.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
But yeah, we've got live bull riding. We got professional bull riders in the parking lot. You can go on Flora-Bama's Facebook page and Instagram and see that if you're out there. But that's kind of interesting right here on the beach. And, look at today. You got a beautiful 80-degree day. We're on the beach. We got country music. We got Alabama football, bull riding. It doesn't get much better than that. Add beer and some raw oysters, and we're doing good.
Chris, our producer's first time he's been here, we walked in and he's like,
Really?
well, you know, I wasn't, he grew up in Foley, but he, you know.
Really?
But he was never 21. I was like, man, I've been coming here, you know. Look, when we were in college, I had a very good fake ID. That was like years ago, though, John.
Yeah. I'm
You
sure,
don't
I'm sure
endorse
Chris
that.
never snuck in here. He's just not admitting it.
It's changed so much, man. It used to be like a little package store with a place to come hang out. Hurricane Ivan, you know, came through and kind of smushed it. And then you guys, like, have built this place up better than ever. I mean, I'm always amazed when I come in here.
Yeah. Well, we keep adding. I mean, you know, that's the cool thing about Flora-Bama. There was no plan. It was just built as it made sense to expand. And my partners over 50 years just threw together some 2x4s and plywood and tents and just kept on going. And now we've kind of run out of property, but, you know, we have a good time. And, you know, I'd have to guess how many people come through here, but it's well over 1 million people a year. Wow. And because it's an old place and a shack and it's casual, people let their guard down and forget about all their problems in life and have a good time.
Well, look, this is our home for the Alabama road games. We're going to be back here a bunch more this season.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll definitely hang out some more. Give me a prediction on Alabama and Texas tomorrow.
Ooh. Well, I mean,
Come
you
on.
think I'm going to say anything negative about Alabama?
It's 20-point spread.
I think we're going to beat the spread. I think we're going to beat it. I was really impressed with Bryce watching him last weekend. I thought he played great. I thought he was a great leader, and it was awesome.
John McInnes, one of the great owners of our home here when Alabama's on the road, the Flora-Bama. John, always great to see you, my friend.
You too, buddy. Love you. God bless you guys. Keep on doing this radio show. It's awesome. We appreciate it.
This guy's one of the best guys you'll ever meet in life. Guys, let me tell you about Tuscaloosa. Visit Tuscaloosa.com. The Tuscaloosa Farmers Market takes place every Saturday, 7 to noon. You got the Civil Rights Trail, a self-guided tour that includes 18 stops around Tuscaloosa, the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. Find out more information at visittuscaloosa.com. And don't forget, after the ball game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, right after the game ends, or if it's a blowout, we sometimes jump on in the fourth quarter, we'll have the Bama Insider post-game show. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk with Thom Abraham from North Alabama about all the big games in college football, including Alabama and Texas, right after this on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show.
Touchdown! Hey, guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate, CatheadDistillery.com.
There's a new place where thrill meets chill, where the fun is always tropical cool, inside and out. The park at OWA is now Tropic Falls Theme Park, joined by the all-new indoor water park now open. Come to OWA and experience Tropic Falls. It's like nothing you've ever seen, with 23 theme park rides and 11 new indoor water park slides, complete with lazy river and arcade. All at Tropic Falls, only at OWA Parks and Resort. Buy your tickets online and save at visitowa.com.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Celebrate the Tide's legacy of championships with Daniel A. Moore's latest creation, The Legacy Begins. A tribute to the 1926 Rose Bowl victory over Washington, putting Southern football on the map and establishing the unmatched legacy of Alabama's national titles. New Life Art is offering The Legacy Begins in a variety of formats that will fit any budget. Remember the Rose Bowl with these and other fine art gift items available now at danielmooreart.com or by calling 1-800-735-2787.
It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Every September, the Flora-Bama welcomes professional bull riders from across the country with one goal in mind: staying on the back of a 2,000-pound bull for 8 seconds.
We've got a qualified bull ride.
It's 3 big nights of adrenaline-filled excitement, September 8th through the 10th. Single-night tickets are available now, but hurry, this event sells out every year. It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Get your Bulls on the Beach tickets now at Flora-Bama.com.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We're from Bama Insider, and we invite you to join us right now, the new On3 Alabama affiliate, BamaInsider.com. You can get Bama Insider $1 for a year subscription. That includes all the recruiting and all of the nuggets that go along with Alabama football. Talking about the Crimson Tide, they play today. The kickoff is 11 o'clock Central Time, Texas Memorial Stadium against the Longhorns. And it should be a really interesting game. Before we bring on Thom Abraham and talk about all of the things going on around the world of college football, including the Crimson Tide, let me remind you that this segment is brought to you by Pearl River Resort and the Timeout Sportsbook. That's in Choctaw, Philadelphia, Mississippi. And there's so many things going on there with the sportsbook and everything else. But a great partner, and check it out. This is I love this spot. It's pretty funny. And then we're going to talk about these games.
Touchdown! Hey, guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
All right, let's play the game. And here he is, Mr. Thom Abraham. You guys know him from 97.7 ESPN The Zone in Huntsville in North Alabama, parts into Tennessee, longtime radio personality in the Yellowhammer State. What is going on, Thom?
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm just fired up for another full weekend of action. And of course, not only do we get the college action, we get the NFL action. It's football in full swing now, man. It's a fantastic time of year.
No, it is the best time of year. You also got the baseball playoffs as well, which if you go to Pearl River, you can check all of that stuff out, which isn't far from you, isn't far from me. They've got like a Vegas-style book. And a really fun time of year just to go in there and watch everything going on. Even NASCAR's playoff is about to start. All right, let's get into some of these games. Yeah, I mean, I'm really pumped up to hear what you think. And we're going to start with, as you see on the screen there, and if you're listening on radio, it's Tennessee at Pitt, right? Tennessee is giving up 6.5 points. When's the last time Tennessee went on the road and won a game like this? Last year, Pitt was the ACC champs, Thom. They beat the Vols, Neyland Stadium. I was actually at the game. It was a really interesting, fun contest, but Vegas feels like that this is going to be a Tennessee game where they're going to score a lot of points. What do you think?
Well, I think Tennessee will get their points. The question is, can they stop Pitt from getting some points as well? I mean, Pitt, with that win over West Virginia last week, I thought was relatively impressive. They bring the Slovis kid in from USC, and he looked like he was ready for prime time. Pitt won this game by 7 at Neyland Stadium last year. The look-ahead line all summer long for this game was 2.5 points. Now it's 6.5 points. That's an awful lot of points. And man, I think that Pitt can hang around in this game and keep it close. Maybe it's a backdoor cover. Maybe it's that touchdown late that makes it go from a 13-point game to a 6-point game, something like that. But I would be very reticent right now. I need to see it out of Tennessee, before I'm ready to lay 6.5 points against a true blue Power 5 team on the road. I still need to see it out of Tennessee on both sides of the ball.
Look, I see this game a little bit differently. Hendon Hooker wasn't the quarterback for Tennessee at the beginning of the year last year, right? And so in that Pitt game, there's guys running all over the place. They weren't able to connect. Hooker comes in, and then he turns everything around and makes the Vols a very impressive offensive team. 45 points per game, 4 straight games for the Tennessee Vols. That's a school record. Now, Pitt's going to score a lot of points, too. They've scored 30 points in 14 of their last 18 games. Pat Narduzzi, their coach, I think he's an up-and-comer. You're going to see him at a big-time program. And Pitt they were terrible before he got there. He's 22-6. When the team runs for 200 yards, you figure they're going to pick up a lot of yards on the ground. I think that Tennessee's going to win this football game, but I think what's going to happen is they're going to get way ahead, and then their defense isn't going to be able to stop Pitt. And so I'm taking Pitt and the 6.5 points. We both take Pitt for different reasons. I think Tennessee wins by 3, but I just don't think that they're going to cover almost a touchdown.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think Tennessee will win the football game, but I think that I agree with you. But it's funny, though, that you say that about Pat Narduzzi, because, the dude's the head coach of the team that won the ACC last year. That's the conference that has Clemson and Florida State and Miami. And yet we're looking at, and I agree with you, that Pat Narduzzi will be looking at a big-time program down the road. That's how little we think of the ACC.
Yeah, and Pitt, too, although they were once a power, and this is the Johnny Majors Classic, right? The former Vol head coach, and then he was a Vols player, almost won the Heisman, and then he goes to Pitt, wins a national championship, had some amazing players there, including Dan Marino and Tony Dorsett, and then went to Tennessee and kind of had him in line, had a heart attack. Phil Fulmer took his job, and the rest, as they say, is history. But this is the yeah, right. This is
at the game.
Yeah, and they did that last year in Tennessee too. The Johnny Majors Classic. All right, let's switch gears here as you guys hang out with us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. The Crimson Tide and the Longhorns play at 11 o'clock, and we look at one of the teams that maybe was the biggest surprise last week. Florida, they beat Utah at home, a ranked Utah team. Kentucky struggled but won last week, and Florida is giving up 4.5 with Kentucky coming into town. What do you think about this one, Thom?
I think we're looking at 2 first-round quarterbacks is what I think. I mean, Will Levis, of course, getting a lot of love out of Kentucky, and then Anthony Richardson bursts on the scene. We did see him play some last year. We saw a lot of splash plays by him last year, and he had a great game against Utah, and all of a sudden he's throwing the ball very accurately. I mean, it was more than him just running around and doing things there. I am a little suspect about the fact that Florida was an unranked team, and after one victory against Utah, albeit, but after that one victory, they're now number 12 in the country. Again, I think this line is swollen a little bit. I think Kentucky can hang with them. I think Florida wins the football game, but I think this is a back-and-forth game. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kentucky even pull it out. I'll take the 5.5 points with the Wildcats here, and let's see how it rolls. But I just think that, we kind of jumping a gun just a little bit on Florida.
We're on different sides of things this time around. Look, Kentucky had that historic win last year. They beat the Gators in Lexington for the first time since 1986. But this looks like a different Florida team under first-year head coach Billy Napier. They just beat number 7 Utah. we saw that, and we've heard so much about Anthony Richardson, right? But he'd been hurt, and he never really played. The Gators had 283 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns. They had 7 yards per touch. I know Kentucky always seems to play good run defense, but so did Utah last year, and they got freight trained. Will Levis didn't look impressive to me for Kentucky. I don't even know who's going to run the ball. Is Chris Rodriguez suspended? They had some injuries there. They're going to bring him back, and I'm sure that if you're, Mike Stoops, that you almost have to bring him back, or you're going to be, without anybody to run the ball. I just feel like this Florida team last year gave up. They look like they're a team that is very motivated right now with the new coach. They have talent. 2 years ago in 2020, they were the team that gave Alabama, maybe Alabama and Nick Saban's greatest team in 2020, right? The biggest challenge in the championship game. So I'm going Gators. It's been since 1976 and 77 since Kentucky's beaten Florida in back-to-back seasons. I was in diapers back then.
Well, I don't know that they win, but the points. This is swollen. We have it on a graphic at 4.5. This is actually swollen to about 5.5, and it just seems just a hair rich for me. But hey, you know what? Mark it down, and we'll see next week. How this all worked out. Whether we were on opposite sides of this one.
All right, let's turn the page one more time as you guys hang out with us at the Flora-Bama. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, getting you ready for Alabama and Texas with Thom Abraham. I'm Mick Gillispie. All right, Thom, you and I kind of got into this a little bit before we went on the air, but I wanted to save this one for now because I'm so excited about this game. It's going to be after 9 o'clock at night, so Bama plays early. We get to relax, and then we get this. I don't know that this is the main course, but you could argue that it is. Baylor's ranked in the top 10. BYU is in the top 25. Last year, these two teams played in Waco. Baylor won the game 38-24. This time, Baylor has to return the trip to Utah, and they play at BYU. This one's a really exciting game. We got it on here at 3.5. And BYU as the favorite over Baylor. I just feel like there's a ton of value in this game.
I think the wrong team is favored in this game is what I think. I mean, they're only 3-8 under this current coaching regime, against top teams, top 10 teams, top teams that are ranked and so on. And I think BYU is always that little girl with the curl. We always want to bring BYU into the mix. Of course, this is a future Big 12 game, right? So this is similar to Alabama and Texas, a future SEC game. A future Big 12 game here. Dave Aranda, you want to talk about a guy that is one step away from a major program. If Baylor isn't a major program, it's Dave Aranda. I mean, that's the next guy up. I think LSU fans by the end of the season are going to be wishing that they brought Dave Aranda back there as opposed to Brian Kelly, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, I do. I believe that. I like the quarterback at Baylor as well. I think Baylor goes up there. Look, it's a weird place to play. It's beautiful, the mountains and everything else. That'll all be, you won't see any of that. The air is thin. I think there's an adjustment there for Baylor coming out of Central Texas. But I like Baylor in this football game. I like them to win the football game. Forget the line. Take the money line on this one.
Look, I totally agree, and I respect BYU. Jaron Hall is a good quarterback, 25 of 32 last week, 261 yards, had a couple of touchdowns in that beatdown of USF, 50-21, right? And I think BYU is a good team. As a matter of fact, the team that wins this football game is on course for the college football playoff. This is for week 2. This is the monster matchup, and I'm really surprised that ESPN Game Day. I know, look, I get it. Alabama, Texas, Blue Bloods. But to me, on the fact that these two teams are playing and they both have a potential to get to the college football playoff, and who knows if you're ever going back to BYU if they lose this game with Game Day, I think it would have been cool to be there. I can't wait to watch this. But you talk about Blake Shapen, the quarterback of Baylor. He was great last week, 69-10. They beat up on Albany, and they gave up a first-quarter touchdown. The defensive line, a lot of returners. Offensive line, 4 out of 5 guys came back. They can run the ball. This is the Big 12 defending champs. And I just feel like they're flying under the radar right now. Even in the top 10, no one's talking about Baylor. I have them in the college football playoff. And I agree with you 100% that if you're looking for a value, this is it right here. The wrong team is favored with BYU. Good team.
Are you talking about the 4-team playoff this year? Or are you talking about the 12-team playoff in 2025?
No.
Because these teams are not playing for a spot in the playoffs.
We'll see. We'll see. I like Baylor a lot. I'm just thinking that conference, they're going to try to stuff one of these guys in. You go undefeated, you're in. And look, if Baylor didn't beat Oklahoma State last year, it wouldn't have been Cincinnati. It would have been Oklahoma State and Alabama in that playoff. So don't forget that either. All right, this is the game that we are here for today. A high noon showdown on the Eastern Coast, right? Yeah. Central Time, it's 11 o'clock. How early can you play a big game like this? I guess 11 a.m. is the earliest, right? Bama is a 20 and a half point favorite. We got it at 20 on here. Your thoughts on this game?
This is a really tough one for me because, look, we're dealing with 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and I know Alabama's a fairly veteran team, but there still are some young guys that are in there. This is not a neutral site game. This is a game you are going into a 100,000-seat stadium where 95,000 of these people are going to be against you. This is I think there's going to be an adjustment period for this game. I think this game could be close in the first half. I think it could take a moment for Alabama to get rolling. I think they ultimately pull away in the second half, but 20 and a half points. I mean, they're only a 3-point lower favorite than Auburn is at home against San Diego State. I mean, this is a real live Power 5 team. Steve Sarkisian, the quarterback Quinn Ewers. Now, the reality is they gave up a bunch of sacks last week to Louisiana Monroe, which might be the worst team in college football right now. And so what is Alabama going to do when they get in there? Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, those guys coming off the corners, they're going to be, I think they'll heat them up from the inside with Henry To'oTo'o. Alabama's going to have 5 to 7 sacks in this football game. If they can weather the early storm, they probably going to go ahead and pull away and get that big win. It feels a little bit like Alabama USC, but that was at, Jerry's World back in the day when everybody thought that was going to be a tighter game. I think Alabama's looking to make a statement here. Is this the first time Nick Saban has played them since, he was, being courted by Texas? I think this is the beginning of a great, great SEC rivalry. Not this weekend, though. But I do believe that this is going to be this will ultimately be Alabama's second biggest rival game behind the Iron Bowl. 10 years from now, everybody will always talk about Alabama, Texas, how big a game that is. So, we'll see. But I think they pull away late. I'm worried about a backdoor cover out of Texas, but I think Alabama ultimately will bury them in the second half.
I hate betting against Alabama, and I agree with you. And you make a great point about Alabama and Texas being a huge rivalry in the years to come. This is the first time, Tom, that Alabama has played in Austin in 100 years, 1922. They would play in bowl games. Obviously, Alabama never beat them until 2009, and I was there, and that was a fantastic day. But Alabama's they've got their longest winning streak against Texas rolling right now. Bama's 28-2 in their last 30 games. They're 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 non-conference games. Texas 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 conference games. In their last 8 games overall. And then 1-3 in their last 4 games versus ranked opponents. I just think they've set this line so high. You're right. Like a backdoor cover could possibly happen. Texas isn't going to get shut out at home, I don't think. Alabama's defense is great. Quinn Ewers is going to be in trouble a lot in this game. They're going to have to rely on a running attack with Robinson and hope that Alabama makes some mistakes. They did last year against Texas A&M, but Texas A&M made a lot of plays in that game. I'm taking Texas in the points just because that's kind of a formula I have in betting. I mean, I like a home dog. Alabama struggled last year on the road. They barely beat Florida after building a big lead. They had to come from behind in a miraculous win to beat Auburn. And Auburn wasn't even that good last season, and they lost to Texas A&M. I think Alabama wins this game. We're going to find out how good this defense is against Texas on the road in a hostile environment. Also with this new offensive line, are they going to be able to deal with the noise there and not make mistakes, not make penalties? I think Alabama wins the game. I don't even know that it's going to be close. But I think you're giving me, almost 21 points. I got to take it on the road. I mean, this is Texas. I mean, this isn't Louisiana Monroe. They come on later in the season.
Yeah, I mean, you win this game 37-20. It's very comfortable, but people will be grousing up, well, they didn't cover. Yeah, but you know what? What if you win the game 37-20, 38-20? That's a pretty good beating on the road. That'd be a great win on the road. But you know how Bama fans are now. They're so spoiled that, they'd be like 38-20. That cost me $100, So I think you sit back and you enjoy it. Literally, if we're going to, wager on a game, this isn't one I would. I would just sit back and enjoy it. We'll make the pick because everybody wants to know, what's going to happen in this game. But this is a kind of a stay away game to me. I think you got to be a little bit careful with this one.
He's Thom Abraham, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone in North Alabama. Thom, how can people follow you, and what do you got going on this week?
At Thom Abraham Show on Twitter and on Facebook is where you can follow us. Of course, the radio station at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. We are carrying the show as well, so we're excited about that. And, we're just rocking and rolling now. High school football, college football, NFL football, it's all happening there. I'm 10 to noon Central Time, so people can check that out right there online. And we're also on WZZN TV on YouTube and on Twitch from 10 to noon every day, Monday through Friday on WZZN TV.
Great stuff from Thom Abraham. We'll talk to him next week. Guys, let me remind you that we're at the Flora-Bama, and that's where we are for the road games. When Alabama's on the road, we go down to the line. You got live music daily on 3 stages. They're open from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Free bingo Monday through Friday, 1 to 4. That's always fun. Come and get a bushwhacker, tons of TV to watch college football. Flora-Bama on Flora-Bama.com, or check them out on Facebook. When we come back, we're going to break down this matchup, Alabama, Texas, some more. The Crimson Tide and the Longhorns play at 11. We're previewing it on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, and we will be right back.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, or the newest location in Northport in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Now 2 awesome locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. R&R Cigar is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar in Yingling for $10 when you tell them Mick sent you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate. CatheadDistillery.com.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
Hi, Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
There's a new place where thrill meets chill, where the fun is always tropical cool, inside and out. The park at OWA is now Tropic Falls Theme Park, joined by the all-new indoor water park now open. Come to OWA and experience Tropic Falls. It's like nothing you've ever seen, with 23 theme park rides and 11 new indoor water park slides, complete with lazy river and arcade. All at Tropic Falls, only at OWA Parks and Resort. Buy your tickets online and save at visitowa.com.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, live from the Flora-Bama, Alabama and Texas, 11 o'clock kickoff. The Crimson Tide are number one in the country. They're a 20.5-point favorite. R&R Cigar invites you to come to the Downtown Cigar Mansion in Tuscaloosa, the newest location in Northport. 2 locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. Best cigar selection and bourbon selection in the Southeast awaits you. R&R is your home for all sports. Outshores your man cave to R&R at 2703 6th Street, downtown near Home to Suites. TheCigarMansion.com, 2 locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. You can also get Cathead products there. Our man T from Cathead next to me. And there he is, Clint Lamb. What is up, my brother? Welcome to the party at the Flora-Bama.
Mick, are you having a good time, brother? You look like you're having a good time.
Well, they keep on bringing the Yinglings by.
As long as they keep doing that, it's a pretty good night.
Look, it's been one of those, and we're getting ready for this football game. But yeah, it's always great down here in Perdido Key, and this is our home when Alabama's away. We didn't go to Austin. We're hanging out right here at the Flora-Bama. All right, look, Clint, let's get into this. T and I are on this side of things, you on that side of things. Nick Saban to Texas. I don't believe a word that he said the other day. I'm just going to throw it out there. Partly because I remember when it was going on, and his agent was definitely talking to Texas. He said he never talked to Texas. He told the Dolphins he never was going to Alabama. Your thoughts on Nick Saban addressing the rumors of his possibility back in the day going to the Longhorns?
I mean, he's at Alabama, and he stayed at Alabama. So I guess at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for if you're an Alabama fan. How it went down, he might be, revising history a little bit. I can't really say I blame him, but I mean, he's at Alabama, and he's looks like he's going to stay there throughout his career. So I can't blame the man.
What about you, T? Could you imagine Nick Saban at Texas?
I mean, I could imagine him there, but I mean, is Texas really a better job than Alabama? I just don't think that that's a possibility.
Bill Battle was the athletic director at the time. Enough said. All right, let's talk about biggest keys for Alabama versus Texas. Clint, give me the breakdown.
Well, for Texas, I think the number one thing that they have to do, it's not a matter of, if you can do it, you'll have success. You have to be able to run the football effectively. And I've talked about this all week. From their perspective, if you can run the football, you keep Alabama's high-powered offense off the field, and you take a lot of pressure off of, a very young, talented quarterback in Quinn Ewers. So it's kind of, you would think when you've got Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson and Keelan Robinson and, there's just really deep stable of running backs, you're going to want to utilize those guys. The problem is, can they do it? Last year Alabama had like the number 5, run defense in the country, and they returned a significant portion of that defensive line and those edge rushers. And on top of that, you added a very young, talented player in Jaheim Otis, who I think his bread and butter is stopping the run. I think he's got a little bit of twitch and can provide a little bit of pass rush for a guy who's 340 plus pounds. But I think that is by far his biggest usage this season is going to be against the run, which is why, last week you didn't see a whole lot of him. You saw him a little bit, but you didn't see those splash impactful plays outside of just, here and there. This year this game, I'm thinking that he can have a much bigger impact. And if he's this immovable object everybody's been talking about, Texas is going to have a really hard time because they got two, really young guys on the interior of their offensive line. They got a true sophomore at one guard spot. They got a true freshman at the other. And then you got a true freshman left tackle. It's a young, inexperienced bunch. It's a talented bunch. And you don't want to just assume that they're not going to be able to, live up to that talent. I mean, I would say at this point in their careers, it's probably not going to happen, but it's possible they could rise to the occasion and play like a seasoned veteran. But if they play like freshmen and sophomores against Alabama's defensive front, they're going to have a really hard time.
Love you guys in the comments section. Good to see our buddy Jersey Dolphins hanging out with us. Jarvis doing his thing. Keep on throwing those comments up there as we hang out with you, talking Alabama football on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. And if you're listening on radio, roll tide, everybody. Alabama and Texas at 11 o'clock. All right, Clint, T and I have already addressed this issue. I want your opinion. Who's advantage 11 a.m. Central Time, high noon kickoff in the Lone Star State for the Crimson Tide and Texas?
This is the way that I've been putting it to people. The timing of the game is an advantage for both teams. And let me tell you what I mean. The timing as far as when it starts, which is at 11 a.m., that is advantage Texas because they're used to playing these types of games. Alabama, when they're normally waking up and their whole schedule is different, you're waking up at you got to be at team meetings at 6 a.m. or 6:30 in the morning. You got to eat team breakfast at 5:30. That's a much different approach than you are typically used to. And I mean, if you look back, and it could be because they're kind of non-Power 5 opponents. They're subpar opponents, I guess is the way to put it. You've seen them kind of come out flat in some of these early games. That's possible that they could do that against Texas, or that could just simply be the product of when these games typically happen. You're going against those smaller schools, and so they do come out flat. Maybe they don't take them as seriously as they need to. But as far as the timing of the game, when it happens on the schedule, week 2, that's advantage Alabama because, you got a lot of young players who Quinn Ewers is going into his second career start, right? Some of these freshman offensive linemen, Kelvin Banks is going to be a heck of a left tackle, probably going to be one of the best left tackles in college football here in a couple of years. But right now he's going into his second career start. This guy was playing high school football 9 or 10 months ago, and now you're being asked to block Will Anderson and Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell out there on the edge. That's a tough order, tough task for anybody, especially a true freshman offensive lineman. So I think that, you talk about the timing and the fact that there's going to be some heat. I think there's a lot of heat and humidity in Alabama as well. I don't think Alabama is as concerned about that. But, it could play a little bit of a factor, but I think it could play a factor probably for Texas as well. It's going to be hot for everybody. Texas isn't getting off as far as the heat's concerned. So, I think that timing of the game is more so advantage Texas in some way as far as that 11 a.m. kickoff. But if Alabama's got the leadership and the focus this year that maybe they were lacking a little bit last year, I don't think it will be as big of a deal as it would have been last year.
When we come back, we're going to talk about this game. We're going to make our picks with Clint Lamb, T from Cathead Distillery. I'm Mick Gillispie, the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. One more segment from the Flora-Bama right after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Celebrate the Tide's legacy of championships with Daniel A. Moore's latest creation, The Legacy Begins. A tribute to the 1926 Rose Bowl victory over Washington, putting Southern football on the map and establishing the unmatched legacy of Alabama's national titles. New Life Art is offering The Legacy Begins in a variety of formats that will fit any budget. Remember the Rose Bowl with these and other fine art gift items available now at danielmooreart.com or by calling 1-800-735-2787.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate. CatheadDistillery.com.
It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Every September, the Flora-Bama welcomes professional bull riders from across the country with one goal in mind: staying on the back of a 2,000-pound bull for 8 seconds.
We've got a qualified bull.
It's 3 big nights of adrenaline-filled excitement, September 8th through the 10th. Single-night tickets are available now, but hurry, this event sells out every year. It's Bulls on the Beach time at the world-famous Flora-Bama. Get your Bulls on the Beach tickets now at florabama.com.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
Hi, Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
Final segment of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We're talking to you from the Flora-Bama here in Perdido Key. It's getting crazy as we get you ready for Alabama at Texas, 11 o'clock in Austin. Alabama's first trip to Austin to play Texas since 1922. Our show is brought to you by Yingling Lager, a 6th-generation company, and Cheryl Yingling, who's part of the company's ownership, a proud Alabama grad. She puts a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles or cans. Try Yingling Flight if you're trying to lose a little weight. That's their low-carb Yingling. All right, guys, like and subscribe as you hang out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, watching the show. If you're listening on radio, roll Tide, thumbs up, share with your friends, hit the bell so you know when we're live. After the game, we're going to be on with the post-game show, so you can put it on. If it ends up being a blowout like the experts expect, we'll be on probably during the fourth quarter on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. He's T from Cathead Distillery, and he's Clint Lamb from On 3. I'm Mick Gillispie. Clint, you're missing the party of the year. That's okay. You're always invited. Every road game we're going to be down here. Give me your thoughts on Alabama and Texas. Is there anything that Alabama really needs to worry about today against the Longhorns?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you gotta worry about making sure your focus is in the right place. All of us, we're looking at the game. It's on paper for us, and the X's and O's on paper points to a very heavy Alabama victory. But as we've seen in the past, just because it's pointing in that direction doesn't mean it'll work out that way. The players still have to go out there and execute. The coaches still have to go out there and execute. And so that needs to be the primary focus. I don't think, Alabama last year always had its focus and priorities where they needed to be. And so that is where I think the leadership group and all that can take a big step forward this year, is in this type of environment. And it's going to be a hostile environment, making sure you're doing all the little things that you need to do in order to give yourself the best chance to succeed. But I got to be honest, Vic, I am just simply looking at it from, the X's and O's and on paper and the way that guys are matching up. And it'll be very difficult for Texas to overcome that, discrepancy between that young, talented offensive line that they have. But Alabama's very ultra talented future NFL prospects, NFL players, defensive front. And so for that reason, I think Alabama's going to be able to control the game pretty much. They might come out flat in the beginning, with it being such an early game. I could certainly see that being a possibility. But if they handle what they need to as far as their focus and attention, I think Alabama's going to win big.
All right, guys, let's give our scores. Let's give our final predictions of this Alabama and Texas game. T, start with you, man. What do you think? Alabama and Texas.
Man, I don't know if I can give you an exact score, but I think Alabama probably wins by 18. I don't know if they cover the spread. I think Scar's going to have some things. I think Texas is very talented. I think they're young, and that's kind of where the danger comes in. I don't think Alabama's in danger of losing the game, but I don't know if they cover the spread. I think they win by 18.
And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, look, I think Alabama's going to win, but 21 points against a team like Texas, when last year they struggled to beat Florida, they struggled to beat Auburn, they lost to Texas A&M. I think they'll win the game, Clint, but I don't know, 21 points. If they go in there and beat Texas by 21 and they make it look like one of these games that takes place in Jerry World or in Atlanta, I'll be totally impressed. But Quinn Ewers, you're right. I mean, the guy hasn't played a game like this in his life. Alabama's defense is going to be so fast and so quick. It wouldn't surprise me if I'm wrong, but I think Alabama will win by, like you said, maybe 18 or 19. What do you think, Clint?
Well, I do think, like I said, based on paper, and that's what I'm going off of right now, you can't always, just assume what the motivational, emotional factors are, how big of an impact is that going to have on the football game. But I do think that Alabama covers the spread, because I just don't think that Quinn Ewers is going to have a lot of time to operate. And I think that that's going to lead to mistakes. I think Bijan Robinson, through volume, is going to be able to get, 70, 75 yards rushing, but I could see it easily being, a 3.3 yard per carry, 3.5 yard per carry, that type of game. And if they can't get more out of him than that, then I think that the entire thing for Texas, the entire game plan for Texas kind of goes out the window. So if Alabama, if they do go to Austin and they walk away covering the spread like I think that they will, that is going to be such a huge statement of, this is how this team is different than last year's team. And I think that that is the type of statement that they're looking to make. They're not looking to impress anybody from we're really good. Everybody knows they're really good. But last year they struggled with the leadership aspects of things and guys being willing to follow those leaders. That's the type of statement that they can make with this road victory if they go to Austin and walk away with a huge win. And that's exactly what I think they're going to try to do. So, like I said, they can maybe come out flat a little bit. I could see that early on, working some things out. But ultimately, I think Alabama ends up covering the spread. I had it on our staff predictions, 45-17, and I feel pretty good about it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Texas has a tough time scoring at all, right? But we'll find out. Clint, always great to see you. And folks, you need to check out Clint's work. You can do that at BamaInsider.com. You can get a subscription right now at BamaInsider.com on 3, $1 for 12 months. He's on there. Jimmy Stein's on there. They're in the message board. Clint covers the team like a blanket. Anything you need to know about the Crimson Tide, he's got you covered right there. And as you hang out with us on the YouTube channel, always great hanging out with Clint Lamb. Clint, awesome work, man. Thank you again, brother.
Absolutely, man. Wish I was down there with you. Definitely have a bushwhacker or two for me.
We will. They've been offering us free bushwhackers. T, 30 seconds. Tell us about Cathead, our newest partner. Great to have you here, brother.
Man, it's really easy. We're the oldest legal distillery in Mississippi. We have to claim that legal part because there's been a lot of distilling that wasn't willing to pay taxes. So we're the first ones to do it. We're 12 years old. We make vodka. We make gin. We make bourbon. We make a barrel-aged chicory liqueur. We're available all across the SEC market.
I'm sold.
Yeah, Clint, I got you hooked up. The T's taking good care of us. So Well, next time I see you, we'll make sure we have some of the vodka and the chicory liqueurs. What I'm really excited about. I just like the sound of it. It looks good.
I know it's a little late in the day to start a tailgating cocktail, but if you need to start a tailgating cocktail, have a little hoodoo in your coffee, guys. I promise you, it's going to be gold.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Hey, thanks to the Flora-Bama. Let me remind you that there are live music stages daily, 3 of them. They open at 11 a.m. They close at 3 a.m. Free bingo Monday through Friday, 1 to 4. Get your bushwhackers. Come out, watch your college football right here at the Flora-Bama. Appreciate all of you guys that have made this show possible. Yuengling Lager, who's been our partner since we started, and our entire network, including Bama Insider. We will be on after the game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel with the post-game show. Chris Daltrey has done such a great job producing, as he always does, and myself. We'll be breaking it down. Special thanks to Jay Barker for jumping on our show, Andrew Bone for giving us our recruiting, Tommy Urich of Texas telling us about them, T hanging out with us here, everybody at the Flora-Bama. John McKinnis, who brought all these Yuenglings over to us for no reason, just because he wanted to. Thank you, John. Alabama and Texas kickoff at 11 a.m. And don't forget, after the game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, we will be on, and maybe in the fourth quarter if it turns out like the experts think. Next week, we'll be at Unique on the Strip in Tuscaloosa with the show from 6 to 8 on Friday night. That's where we'll be hanging out. So make sure if you're in Tuscaloosa, you swing by and yell Roll Tide at us. And also appreciate all you guys for being here tonight. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel and across Radio Land. Roll Tide.